Hey, what's going on, Mr. Dang? Thanks for taking the time to come in and do this podcast with us here at SRTDI. We just had a few questions here that we want to go through and see what your overall experience and your experience and your potential feedback and what you think of the program so far. So to start off, so what motivated you to pursue a career in trucking, and how did SRTDA help you achieve that goal?
So I have a friend who worked in Amazon as a Amazon truck driver,
Okay.
and he said like the benefits there is pretty good, and that makes me more interesting than my current job because I'm working at a nail supply store, and the hour wage is kind of like low than my real expectations.
Okay.
And I find out like like finding jobs in trucking industry might be a really good opportunities to increase my hour wage and maybe something more. So yeah.
Okay, so you have a potential job lead with your friend, so that's why you decided to venture out into trucking.
Yeah, and actually I used to work for Amazon, not as a truck driver, but as a warehouse associate.
Okay.
So pretty much I know a little bit about the system, but it's due to my paperwork and stuff. So like I stopped working there for a while waiting for my paperwork to, like move on again.
Okay, understood. So how can you describe your experience in the training program? What stood out to you the most during your time?
So I think like throughout the programs I can learn more and experience more as the student or the life of a truck driver. On some sides, not 100%, but I can feel it at some points, like how to be like a truck driver through like the practices and the trainings. So what stood out the most, maybe I felt it when we practice on the road. That's how I feel most.
Yeah.
Because order trainings, they are important, but like they are the foundations. They help me to understand before we can jump on the road stage.
When you jump on the road,
Yeah.
You're like, oh God, I'm really doing this.
Yeah,
Doing it.
That was the first feeling.
Yeah, I understand.
When you drove the big truck. So that's like a big upgrade to something, because currently at my workplace, I only drive like a van, but
okay,
it was a really cool experience.
Yeah, it makes you feel like
to have a big upgrade like that.
Yeah, like I'm really doing this. Okay. Well, then following with that, what is the most challenging part of the training program? What was the most challenging part for you, and how did you overcome that challenge?
So for me, because I'm a Vietnamese guy and English is not my first language.
Okay.
So I think most challenging part is the language as the barriers.
Okay.
So first, for me, I supposed to understand about the knowledge, the theories, and the lesson first. And sometimes like my brain need to translate between those two languages.
Okay.
And yeah, it takes time for me to get used to like the flow, and like for like on the road, you're supposed to react really fast in a certain point of time. You cannot do it things slowly with slow reactions. But yeah, I'm getting there, and it helps me a lot. And the most important key, the more I practice, the more confident I feel, just like Mr. Steve said.
Okay. So I guess you somewhat touched this subject. What skills or knowledge do you feel most confident about as you head into the trucking career? Like, what can you say, you know what, I grabbed this, and this I feel really good about this when I go out there and pursue my trucking career?
So I think that's a good question. Maybe it's about their experience and the knowledge.
Okay.
Because
So you feel like you're very prepared?
yeah, I feel like I'm more prepared to like a newbie who doesn't know much
Okay.
about, you know, like before taking classes and
Mhm.
after taking classes.
Okay. So, how well do you feel SRTDI prepared you for the demands of the job in terms of safety, regulations, and customer service?
I think STRDE helps me a lot with all the resources
Okay.
and everything. They're informative and they provide me one of the best things I need for also about safety. You said about other factors.
Okay. What do you feel is the most important lesson you've learned through your time at SRTDI that you will carry with you into your career? What lesson where you're like, okay,
So last week, I got a chance to study with Mr. Steve about the flatbed,
okay,
and it was really good. So right now, I'm still thinking like before choosing the flatbed or, you know,
it'll keep you in shape, man. It'll keep you in shape.
trying the hazmat like you're teaching or you're doing today. To be honest, like I'm more interested in hazmat, but I'll see the opportunities after the graduations, and yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
How would you describe the environment at SRTDI? Was it supportive and encouraging as you work towards your goal? The environment, how did it feel when you came in every day
feel
to
like,
school? How did the instructors make you feel? Your other classmates, the environment, how did it feel for you?
Yeah, so it was one of the questions earlier. Like I found out the schools through like Google search,
Okay.
and one of the most interesting things I saw through the comments on Google, they said like this school treat other students as a family members or family communities, and that's what I love most. And I haven't got the chance to experience those until I step in the school and feel it by myself.
Right.
Yeah, and most of the instructors, they're really supporting, encouraging, and they don't let like things to discourage you.
Yeah.
And yeah, really
Okay.
supporting and help and
Okay.
friendly as well.
Okay. What has been the most rewarding aspect of your training at SRTDI? Are there specific moments or accomplishments you're specifically proud of? As of right now,
As of right now, yeah, maybe that's to be able to drive a big truck, with a trailer on the road.
Yeah.
That's the biggest
Yeah.
rewards I have gained so far. So hopefully it could lead to more potential stuff in the future. More, so that it would come up with more stories after graduation.
Yeah, sometimes I see the trucks driving down the road. Sometimes I can't believe I drive those.
Yes.
Sometimes, yeah. Yes. So yeah, it's definitely something to be proud of. Absolutely. What advice would you give to someone that's just starting the program at SRTDI? What should they know before beginning their training? What do you feel like you wish you would have known when you started? What advice would you give the next guy?
So if you like to be a truck driver, don't hesitate to step in. If you have the same problems as the language barrier like me, don't hesitate to step in the schools, because it's not one of the biggest things like students cannot overcome. And STDRI is a really good school for other students to go through and study more and get more life experiences beside the truck knowledge.
So, how do you see your career in trucking evolving over the few years? Do you have any long-term goals or aspirations with the industry? How do you see this long-term?
So it's a really good question. So I think in the long term, I would love to, like have my own fleet or something. Maybe that's a really big thing to say. It's easier to say, but yeah, I would love to.
Hey man, it all starts with a dream.
Yeah, I would love to register the course of Miss Renita about that. But I heard stories like they're founders of some popular companies, and they all started with one single trucks. And right now they have like a whole big companies with like 1,000 trucks and stuff.
Big fleets.
Yes, a big fleet.
Okay. Well, with the growing demand for truck drivers, what excites you most about the future of the trucking industry?
What excites me the most? Maybe besides making the money through like this industry, like you can have to provide to meet the needs of the carrier and the other one, like the people who pays the goods to be delivered by the driver.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like a win-win situations. You can help them to do what they need, and you get the money.
All right. So, looking back on your journey, what advice would you give to someone who is considering becoming a truck driver?
Looking to my journey, what advice?
Looking back on your journey, what advice would you give someone who is considering becoming a truck driver? Would you say, hey man, this is a reason why you should, this is a reason why you should not, but if you do, look out for this, don't do that? Or how, from your experience, your journey, what would you explain to the next guy that is looking to pretty much be in your shoes?
So from my experience, maybe I would say I thought like I could not handle a truck before. That's because it was something like too big and too much to drive. And yeah, I saw other drivers who, like make like a really good turns and stuff on the highway, and that inspired me a lot. But then after getting, like hands-on experience here, I think like everything could be possible to do. It's not impossible.
Yeah. Okay. So, is there anything you would change about your experience here at SRTDI or the training that you received? Is there anything that you would train? Maybe I would change this, or maybe a little bit more of that, or anything specific that you can think of?
Maybe it's the first stage of the training. Like before you get the permit, maybe I think it's better to let the students have more times to, learn and get all the stuff.
Like during orientation, you mean? Or?
Yeah,
like
during the orientations, they learn the knowledge, but you would need more time to memorize things, like let things soak in time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the beginning stage, the beginning phase. Okay.
I think like the periods of time is kind of short during that time because it's very quick to do multiple questions, and we have really short duration of times to prepare for the permits and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. So at the very initial phase.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the only thing I want to say.
All right. Well, Mr. Dang, I got one more question for you before we wrap it up. Okay.
Yeah.
So, how has your perception of the truck, and I like this question, how has your perception of the trucking industry changed since you first started training at SRTDI?
The perception of change.
How has it changed? I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Before I became a truck driver, I had no idea what it took to move a truck on the road. So my perception changed after I completed the trucking, my CDL school, because now I'm more aware of trucks. Now I'm more aware that they need more room for turns. Now I'm more aware. So that was how my perception changes. Truck drivers they need to be acknowledged. They need their space. And we need, as a community, as drivers, we need to be acknowledged that they need that extra space. It takes more to move a commercial vehicle than it does a car. So that's how my perception changed when I initiated the trucking industry. So again, I'm gonna read you the question one more time.
Yeah.
How has your perception of the trucking industry changed since you first started training here at SRTDI? So how do you view the trucking industry before you started versus now?
Well, not really much difference. I don't have much perception of change. Maybe could be the same, like you say. It's just about the spacings to drive on the road. Because I think if I would have like more things to answer for these questions after the graduations, after like hands-on experience with the real jobs and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because the time to learn help me to prepare for the real job, but it's still short to answer that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, Mr. Dang, that wraps up our questions for today. Thanks for taking the time to come over here.
You're welcome.
And asking a few questions. It was a pleasure meeting you today.
Yeah, pleasure to meet you too.
Yeah, and thank you for your time.
Yeah. Sir.